log on to anywhere in the world and meet anyone at any time. You're all free to discuss your own opinions, whether they be good or bad. And you can also get your freak on while you're at it. This magical place is known as the internet has been getting used by the world population for decades. Well, was being used. You can rip that all up because that era of the internet is officially dead. ID verifications. Social media posts taken down for no reason. Taking pictures of you randomly while your camera's on. Nah, I just added that last part, but let's be real. We all have definitely had an FBI agent goon to us through the camera screen while we've been naked, and what are we gonna do? Stop paying taxes? I stopped paying years ago and it did nothing. Recently, a lot of people have been getting worried about the state of the internet and are wondering how long it will actually be in the form we have now. This all stems from one country deciding nationwide to completely change its laws on the internet. The United Kingdom. Man, y'all always gotta ruin everything. First it was food, then it was rap, and now the internet because every country's gonna be watching the UK to see how it goes and writing down notes. Trying to implement their own type of system to spy on their citizens. I'm just playing, by the way. For any of my UK viewers watching now, y'all are valid in my eyes. You are losing on this one to us though. USA for the win. On July 25th this year, the UK passed one of its biggest Internet Safety Act bills ever. The main reasons for them passing it was to block any adult content, violent content, graphic videos, and political videos they say are quote-unquote harmful to the youth. Now, as of what is deemed harmful, it's not like the UK citizens are determining that together in a national poll. It's what the government says is harmful. And now in the UK, on basically every platform you go on, you're required to show your ID or have your face scanned for it to determine if you're old enough to be on it, including places, and I'm not joking, Spotify. If I buy a subscription for a website and then after they say I gotta verify my ID, I'm running up to their headquarters and demanding the CEO give me a refund right there. This means officially in the UK, you can register for the army at 16, have consensual sex at 16, some freak ass probably gonna fly over there from the States after hearing about that. Bet they didn't even know. But the one thing you can't do is listen to music. And of course, the government's defense for this and what people are gonna be saying that agree with it is, well, it does help protect kids, so why not? Maybe that would be true if they just block like Korn and Gooner websites. But the problem with this and what most people agree on is that the government shouldn't be doing the parenting for you. In this day and age, our devices and social media platforms are built more than ever to have protections for kids. Every social media platform has some type of parental control so that parents could control what their kids are watching. I remember when I was younger too, TVs had built-in parental controls as well. It's not like it's 2005 and you log on the internet and it's completely an utter Russian roulette of what you're gonna see. That's only if you go on places like Twitter, which no child should be on anyways, or any human being for a long time to keep their sanity. You also have platforms that have created their own kid versions of apps like YouTube Kids. I know even that can have questionable things on it, but it's definitely like 10 times safer for a kid than typical YouTube. If a parent doesn't monitor what their kids do on the surface web, then it's the parent's fault. I think a good equivalence is like a parent who doesn't pay attention to their kid and they end up burning themselves on the stove. Then the parent tries to sue the stove company because they didn't make it kid friendly enough. And the quick solution of something like this, most people think, is just getting a VPN and boom, you won't have to worry about the law anyways. In America, there's a ton of states that have corn ban, and I didn't realize that until I moved to Texas. I mean, I never checked. What? Why would I ever go on one of those Gooner websites? Like, the assumptions everyone's making right now towards me is crazy. But yeah, most people just get around it by using a VPN, so it doesn't matter. It's funny because the same day they enacted the law in the UK, VPN app downloads immediately shot up to #1 in every app store. And because they found out in the UK government that everyone's not dumb and is gonna get around it using a VPN, they're now planning to restrict that as well. So the only way you'll be able to access all your favorite sites on the internet in the UK soon will be by giving your ID. And you can also bet if the government fails to keep everyone's identification safe and cyber hackers manage to get it, which of course they're cyber hackers, so they always end up getting it. Even the US government gets hacked constantly by hackers. Then they're not gonna give you shit if you're affected by it. Maybe they'll give you a $10 Nando's gift card for your worries. Imagine being a kid and coming back from a gruesome day at school. Mommy and daddy are having their casual 5 p.m. yelling match in the kitchen, and you just want to sit back, relax, and watch some funny TikToks. Only for you to be prompted to give your ID or you can't use TikTok anymore. You go on Fortnite only to be then asked also for your ID because there may be some dangers. And once they start in one area, there's no going back. It's gonna end up on every single app, even if the apps are kid friendly, because someone is going to complain. One of the biggest UK creators on TikTok, Dylan Page, is even saying he's gonna leave over the changes. If you were on TikTok, you probably seen Dylan Page. He's one of the biggest news creators on the app, and he said the UK has already started restricting his posts on TikTok because of the new law. People thinking they're not gonna focus on political posts are already wrong, because apparently they've started restricting posts about Gaza and Ukraine. I don't know about y'all, but as a kid in school, they would show us documentaries about war and its damages in the world to teach us that war is cruel and it should never be the answer. It's not like this matters anyways because kids are probably gonna see the footage on the news anyways. They're just trying to suppress it as much as possible and make it hard to find. Meanwhile, in another Western country, they're straight up banning social media for anyone under 16. Imagine being Australian and having to fight all types of creatures in the wild. You're walking on the street and gotta go toe to toe with a kangaroo, but the one battle you lose to is the internet. In Australia, their Internet Safety Act, called the Online Safety Amendment, passed in 2024. It banned anyone under 16 from being able to even have a social media account, including on YouTube, and the law got put in place for all social media apps in December except YouTube. Well, now they're reversing that and saying they're gonna ban YouTube too. Even though you still can technically use the platforms there, not having an account kind of makes it useless because your algorithm is tied to your account. And certain social media apps require you after a while to make an account. Their government also doesn't understand by doing this, it's probably gonna make those kids worse. Because now you're gonna have a lot more of them outside, which yes, I do think kids need to go outside a lot more. But they're gonna have to find other ways to have fun, which usually for people younger is gonna be doing some dumb shit, being annoying in public or pulling pranks on random citizens in the streets. The reason why younger generations all over the world have less crime rates more than ever is because the internet is the outlet for people's stress. Sometimes it might be raging on a game. Sometimes it might be having an argument in a comment section on TikTok over gay son or thought daughter. Without that outlet, I guarantee things are gonna change in the streets. And I've seen some older Gen Z and millennials saying this is a good thing and these kids do need to go outside. But you realize that's hypocritical because you grew up with the time where these restrictions didn't exist and you could use it. And now you're saying people that are younger shouldn't get the same ability you were able to have. I would definitely be annoyed as hell if I was under 16 right now. Most of you watching, including me, probably saw some fucked up things on the internet growing up and ended up perfectly fine. I know we focus a lot more on the extreme cases in the internet where someone goes insane and does something messed up in real life, but we don't focus on the help it gives people to escape their reality of life. Sure, some of y'all may have had a stressful day at school or work and now you're finally kicking back and relaxing watching this video. Even not counting that, it doesn't only affect people under 16. Everyone has to pay the price for it. Just hope the government keeps your information safe and sound, I guess. I mean, it seems like the Australian government has its priorities set right.
To the Sigmas of Australia, I say that this goofy air government have been capping, not just now but for a long time. A few of you may remember when they said there'll be no phantom tax under the government I lead. They're capaholics. They're also yapaholics. They yap non-stop about how their cost.
And now to top all of this off, the land of the free isn't safe from it anymore. YouTube in a couple of days on August 13th is going to be rolling out their brand new AI age verification update in the US. It'll be similar to the UK's and scan your face to estimate your age. And their whole reason is basically the same thing the UK government is saying, to lock out certain people out of certain videos if they're not a certain age. The thing is though, YouTube already has an age restriction policy and usually when it hits a YouTube video, no one sees it anyways. They dig it so far down the algorithm that it's hard to find. In fact, usually when a creator does get hit with the age restriction, they have to repost the video so it gets sent out in the algorithm again. But going back to what I was saying before, this is exactly what people are talking about when they say that UK law sets a bad precedent. Because now these platforms are going to be scared of any law that may be coming and add a measure just in case. People are also questioning how YouTube is going to do it because they're basing it off your watch history and your account behavior. So is it like if you watch too many family-friendly YouTubers, they're going to ask you? And wouldn't this not stop someone who watches a lot of older content creators even if they're younger than 18? Dude, I know when I was younger, I was watching all the edgy YouTubers and shit. But according to their rules, I guess, the person that's younger watching that older type of content would be less at a risk of getting ID'd compared to somebody that's older watching family-friendly content. In truth, I don't even think YouTube wants to add this update, but at the end of the day, if the government comes for them, they know they have to be prepared so nothing can happen. All these Western nations can no longer flex that they're better than China and Russia because they don't have authoritarian control over their media. Soon enough, I don't think they'll be able to flex this anymore. The current UK government has no clue what they're doing because now they're gonna also lower the age of voting to 16. So they put in a law that universally affects people under the age of 18 and expect those people to vote them back in office? Who the f is running the UK government? Mr. Bean? Like, are you that stupid? Literally any UK politician that runs on a platform of removing this is gonna 100% win the younger vote. There's also rumors too that when GTA 6 releases, they're gonna make it so in order to play online, you're gonna have to verify with your ID everywhere. All I'm gonna say is, for any of you young who don't care about politics and think it won't affect you, well, now it will, and you better start actually voting before it's too late. With Gen Z, everyone is such online activists and never go out to actually use their rights, which is just crazy to me. Anyways, that's gonna be all though. If I reached anyone in the UK or Australia, just hang in there, guys. It probably won't get better, but I'm with y'all. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys consensually. And until next time, I'm out.
So YouTube's ID checks have claimed their first victim. There's a YouTuber named Saros TV that has talked about how YouTube has restricted features to their channel. They have lost all their advanced features, and YouTube claims it's because they don't have enough channel history. Keep in mind that this is a monetized content creator with over 175,000 subscribers, over 1,000 videos, and he's obviously a grown adult. But still, YouTube is saying that he doesn't have enough channel history. In this video, he showed an email that he got from YouTube, and yeah, you won't believe what they said.
There's something a little dystopian about waking up to an email from a $1 trillion company that tells me, hey, guess what? We might nuke your channel if we feel like it. So I'm just panicked. I was panicked earlier. I just want to point this out. So I got this email. Let me show. This is my email account. Bada bing, bada boom. I got this email, and it said your channel has lost access to advanced features. Now, when I saw this, I immediately panicked. I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on. I said, whoops, what did I do? Did I make a video? Something of that nature? I'm just actually panicked. I didn't know what I was in for. So I opened the email, and it says, to keep our community safe, we limit some of our more powerful features to channels who have built and maintained a positive channel history or who have provided verification. So now immediately, one word stuck out to me: provided verification. Caught me off guard, a little bit confused. Don't know why that was the main centerfold just tacked in on the end there. As of now, your channel does not have sufficient channel history and has lost access to advanced features. This may have happened because your channel did not follow our community guidelines. I'm pretty sure it's something about community guidelines. I don't even think it's channel history.
Notice how the YouTuber has to guess. He doesn't even know what it's about because it says it could be because your channel did not follow our community guidelines. They didn't even tell him if it's because he doesn't have sufficient channel history or if it's because if there's a community guidelines violation. And if there is a community guidelines violation, why did they not tell him which community guidelines rule that he violated? How is he supposed to improve in the future if he doesn't even know what he did or violated? Now look at how it impacts his channel. So he won't be able to do things like get higher daily limits for live stream shorts and video uploads, embed live streams, pin comments. What the fuck? You can't pin comments if you don't show them your ID, and you can't add external links to your video description. So no links to like your Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And of course, they're giving him the usual speech. If you want to restore your access, go ahead and give us a video or ID verification. Key detail here that he does go over in his video: this may not be available for all channels.
Trying to figure out what in God's name I couldn't access, and I couldn't do a lot of this stuff. Every video I had, the external links, which are in every single video, they were disabled. All of my videos were disabled. If you go to any video, all these links that were right here, they were disabled. That caught me off guard. I was a little bit confused. So they told me how to restore access to advanced features. They said, to restore access, you can build positive channel history by following our community guidelines or provide video or ID verification for quicker access. This may or may not be available for all channels. This is so vague. This may not be available for all channels. This is so vague. This is insanely vague. And it was just, it seems though they're just trying to get my ID. All they wanted to do was get my video or ID verification. That's what they wanted to get from me. That was the entirety of what they were trying to figure out. I want to point this out. YouTube is not my entire livelihood. It's not my entire bag. I still work at Amazon. The reason I still work at Amazon is because of stuff like this. It's not my entire thing, but it is my art. It is my voice, and I do care about it deeply. It is my baby. This is my little baby. I care about it a lot. It's really important. So if you don't know about this channel, if you don't know about me, a while back, YouTube deleted, 423 of my videos, and they weren't uploaded.
So he starts telling some personal stories of how YouTube has done similar things like this to him before. This guy has apparently had enough videos backed up to where he could have uploaded every single day until 2027. That's how many videos he had backed up and ready, and he's not able to do so anymore because a lot of his videos got deleted. Does that sound like someone who doesn't have a positive channel history? Does that sound like someone who does not have enough activity on their channel? And as he was pointing out, look at how vague a lot of the diction that YouTube uses in their email is. Build positive channel history by following our community guidelines. Yeah, but you didn't even tell him which community guidelines rule that he broke, or even if he did. You kind of just gave him either option A or option B. You either don't have sufficient channel history, and it might have happened because you broke the community guidelines. Maybe. We don't know, but it might have. How the hell is he supposed to improve or know what to do in this situation if YouTube isn't even giving him the proper information? The only thing that they did tell him is, yeah, you got to provide that video or ID verification if you want this to happen quicker. If you want this to be easy for you, just give over that sweet old ID to us. And I do relate to what he's saying. I mean, same thing for me, man. I mean, YouTube isn't my primary source of income because it can't be, because you can never trust YouTube. I also have a job outside of YouTube. I've talked about this on my live streams before on my gaming channel. But the fact that this guy was diligent enough to have that many videos ready just for YouTube to delete them all anyways. And at the end of the day, if he did violate some sort of community guidelines thing, that's fair for YouTube to want to punish him, right? But how do we know? We don't know. According to the information this guy has provided and according to that very vague, weirdly worded email, we don't even know if it was because of community guidelines or something else. But think about the specific features that they restrict if you don't give them your ID. You can't pin comments to your YouTube video? What? I don't get that one. That is so weird. You can't add external links to video descriptions. That one makes more sense to me because I guess your links could be somewhere nefarious or whatever, but you can't pin a comment. Somebody says, hey, nice video, buddy. I liked your video. You can't pin that comment? Well, of course you can. You just have to show us your ID. I mean, I don't know. Remember that this is what's in store for us on August 13th. And keep in mind, it's not even August 13th yet. They are already rolling out this feature pretty early, and some content creators are getting affected by it, including this guy who, like I said, has over 175,000 subscribers, is a monetized creator, and has over 1,000 videos on their channel. He uploads multiple videos a day with his real face and real voice, and he's obviously an adult. I would contend that it would make more sense for YouTube to ask someone like me to show them their ID, somebody who's anonymous and doesn't show their face. But really, a guy who's clearly an adult who makes multiple videos a day has plenty of channel history? I just don't get it. I don't understand YouTube. I don't understand their new features. And the fact that bigger YouTubers don't really seem to give a flying shit about this whole ID verification thing, it's just part of the problem. 99% of people have been extremely positive about the videos that I've been making, and I thank you guys all so much for it. But for all the people who are saying, oh, you're milking this or whatever, that's fair if you want to think that. But at the end of the day, the reason why I keep talking about this is because people do not want to fucking talk about this for some reason. YouTubers like myself and that YouTuber Saros TV are getting fucking completely restricted, getting random community guidelines, warnings, and strikes, and taking advanced features away from our channels and shit. I mean, it's just crazy. It's absolute insanity that this stuff is happening before the update has even been officially released, and people don't seem to give a flying shit about it. Like I said in my other videos before, bigger YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, who are normally very vocal about this type of stuff, are for some reason extremely silent about the situation. Markiplier, to my knowledge, has not even made a single statement about the AI verification thing, and Jacksepticeye made one tweet about it where he said, never mind, and his previous tweet was, oh, YouTube's getting better or something like that. He made one tweet of like an image saying that he's like free off the shackles because YouTube is allowing swearing, and then the next tweet he just said never mind when he saw the AI verification thing. From both of the big YouTubers combined who normally speak out about YouTube's updates and issues if they feel like they're bad, that one statement is the only peep that we've heard out of these two. And it's just really disappointing because I would love if bigger YouTubers would talk about this. Like I said in my other videos before, I don't expect anything to get changed per se. I know they can't stop the update, but at least if YouTube looks at two of their premier giant creators talking about it and saying they disagree with the change, it can at least be a sign and a beacon to the community like, hey, bigger YouTubers and smaller YouTubers are uniting to make sure that YouTube knows that we don't agree with these fucking changes that are going to be violating our privacy. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that Saros TV guy getting his shit restricted. Good luck to him. Hopefully everything gets better for him, man. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. Please do leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more.
Now, unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of the YouTube AI age verification software rolling out August 13th in the United States. Now, if you have been living under a rock, on August 13th, YouTube will begin to roll out in the United States AI age verification software, which will look at your watch history, search history, and the longevity of your account to determine if you are under the age of 18. And the only way to get these restrictions removed is to either A, show YouTube your government ID, or B, show YouTube your credit card. As if Google didn't already have all of your personal information. And before I get into the video, I want to make it abundantly clear that I am not a fan of these policies whatsoever. They are a gross invasion of privacy alongside the UK's Internet Safety Act and Australia's new broadband on social media for those under the age of 16. Anyways, over the past couple days, I've seen numerous people in the OSC discussing the possible negative effects this may have for the community as a whole. However, I have seen a lot of misconceptions going around, which is the main reason I wanted to make this video. At the same time, there are some other points of the policy which I've seen absolutely no one talking about that will actually be harmful to some creators. So, without further ado, let's just get into this mess. To start off, I'd like to talk about probably the most common misconception I've seen, which is that YouTube will be forcing all uploads on accounts verified to be under the age of 18 to make all their uploads private. This mostly stems from a post on the YouTube creators page stating that, quote, YouTube is setting uploads as private by default for anyone. Now, to be fair, at first that really did freak me out. However, in the comment section of that same post, the YouTube creators page did clarify that YouTube is not restricting any creators features for those under the age of 18. However, there is something that really does make me question this statement. Now, for those of you who aren't too familiar with YouTube Studio or just being a creator, there are 3 tiers of YouTube features. You start off with standard features, which you have access to if you don't have any community guideline strikes. You have intermediate features, which all you need is a verified phone number. And then you have advanced features, which you need either one of 3 things. You need either a valid ID, a video verification of yourself, like saying a prompt or something. Finally, a valid channel history. This valid channel history is what the vast majority of people use to get access to advanced features on YouTube. And advanced features on YouTube include things like being able to test and compare thumbnails, the ability to appeal copyright ID claims, the ability to put external links in your descriptions, a bunch of stuff that are pretty important for creators to actually, earn on YouTube and thrive on YouTube. And now, if YouTube is going back and reevaluating people's channel history, this does have the huge potential to screw that up for a lot of people. For those who are above the age of 18, you only either have the options to either A, show your valid ID, or B, send in a video of your face talking about a prompt that YouTube sends you. Now, this isn't explicitly stated anywhere, but there is a pretty big possibility that this may happen for some people. So for all my creators out there, just be aware. Now, probably you're wondering, well then how do I actually avoid being flagged as under 18? Being in a community which focuses on cartoons that are mostly targeted at children and also full of children, this may seem like a pretty impossible task, but I think your best bet is staying away from videos that are explicitly marked for people under the age of 18. Now, once again, for those who aren't too familiar with YouTube Studio, when uploading a video, you have to either mark if your video is for adults or for children. This is, of course, in line with the COPPA laws. If you do mark your video as being for kids, it removes comments, it removes, I believe, personalized ads, and some other more obscure features. If you do watch videos that are marked for kids, this will probably be the AI's biggest indicator that you are, in fact, a child. Like I said, so probably your best bet to not be marked under the age of 18 is just to avoid these sorts of videos. And luckily for pretty much everyone, there are very few videos that are actually marked for kids, especially in the OSC. I have not ran into a single video in the OSC that is specifically marked for kids. Now, obviously, once again, we don't know how this AI software actually works, so maybe just to be safe, put on a video about taxes or something and walk away for a few hours. Now, to wrap things up, for casual viewers of the OSC, probably nothing will really change in regards of this community. However, for creators, be aware of what may happen, be aware of what you watch, and for the love of God, don't give YouTube your ID, keep talking about this, and remember that VPNs are a thing that exist.